Am I a mandatory reporter at the University of South Carolina? When it comes to sexual assault, stalking, dating violence, or other forms of sexual misconduct, all employees of the University of South Carolina fall into two categories. Mandatory reporters are confidential resources. Confidential resources are persons who can guarantee a victim or a survivor of sexual misconduct confidentiality. By virtue of their training and job description, they can keep reports of sexual misconduct private. These individuals generally include licensed counselors, health services providers, and ordained clergies. The other group of employees are called mandatory reporters. As an employee of the University of South Carolina, whether confidential resource or mandatory reporter, you play a very important role in helping us accomplish the goal of protecting the members of our community and ensuring that this is a safe place to work and to study. The purpose of this brief training module is to help you determine if you are a confidential employee or a mandatory reporter. We also want to help mandatory reporters understand their role and responsibility as it relates to assisting complainants. We have developed some questions and answers to help you determine if you are a mandatory reporter at the University of South Carolina. The first question: am I a confidential resource? If you hold a valid license in a confidential profession such as counseling or medicine, or work in a position or department that the University of South Carolina has designated as a confidential resource, then you are not a mandatory reporter. These departments include, but are not limited to, counseling and health services, the sexual assault and violence and intervention and prevention advocates, and university hired and or affiliated ordained clergy. The next question you should consider: is the complainant a child under the age of 18? If yes, and the incident involves child abuse or child sexual abuse, then you must report it in accordance with federal and state law. Is either the complainant or the respondent a University of South Carolina student? If yes, then you must report the incident to the Office of Equal Opportunity Programs. There are a few exceptions, however. You do not have to report it if you receive the information about prohibited conduct during a public awareness event, such as Take Back the Night, candlelit visual, protests, survivors speak out, or other public forums. You do not have to report the incident if you receive the information about the prohibited conduct during the student's participation as a subject in an institutional review board approved human subjects research protocol. You do not have to report the incident if you receive the information about prohibited conduct through an in-class discussion, a class paper, or other academic assignment. Faculty or staff, whoever, who teach the course and receive this information in this instance should consult with the Office of Equal Opportunity Programs or Sexual Assault and Violence Intervention and Prevention to get information regarding how to support the student who discloses this information. The next question you should consider: am I the supervisor of the complainant or the respondent, or do I have the authority to redress the situation? If yes, then you must report the incident. And again, as before, there are some exceptions. If no, then the university still strongly encourages you to report the information to the Title IX office, even though you in this instance may not be a mandatory reporter. Your reporting the incident helps the university address potential situations and keep them from escalating to more serious kinds of situations. Finally, what about other forms of harassment or discrimination? Am I required to report prohibited conduct based upon age, disability, gender, race, color, sexual orientation, veteran status, genetics, national origin, or religion? The same applies. There is a university expectation that you will also report prohibited conduct violations involving other protected class statuses as well. Be mindful that there is an EOP representative on each campus, as well as a Title IX coordinator. A list of representatives and Title IX coordinators, disability services representatives, and chief diversity officers at each campus can be requested through the Office of Equal Opportunity Programs at the University of South Carolina. At the University of South Carolina, the Columbia campus, for student-on-student Title IX violations, you can make those reports at www.sc.edu/stop-sexual-assault. For general EOP complaints involving faculty, staff, and/or students, you can make those reports at www.sc.edu/EOP. Thank you for helping us to ensure that the University of South Carolina is a safe place to work and to learn.